Okay. Hardcore. Okay.
Hardcore.
Yeah. The more I say it, the easier it'll become for me. I want to say Hargrove every time I think about
it. I'm like, have you never said her name before?
No, I've always said her name wrong. That's the problem. I've been saying it wrong for forever. Anyway, welcome everybody to our new show. Again, this is only for this week and next week. Sorry we started so late, but welcome to Peacemaking Reviews, this show where we come together to break down the episodes of Peacemaker. I know we're starting late, but we are starting to get into the trend of reviewing DC shows on top of the Marvel and the Star Wars. It's just one of those things where it's like we already pod our own shows, and then we do the together shows for Star Wars and Marvel, and then it kind of just like we've done 3 shows this week, 7 days. That's enough, right? So we're gonna start making more room for DC. Hopefully, I don't even know what the next show for DC is after Peacemaker.
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Well,
aside from Young Justice, I mean,
right, and we can do Young Justice for sure because I know we all 3 of us keep up to date with Young Justice. I think we can assume Titans should be out no later than November.
Yeah.
So I'll hold out for that, but clearly that means nothing to you guys who are like, we're looking for what comes out next month, Moon Knight. So Marvel.
Batman.
Yeah, it's Marvel. Yeah, Batman. That's a movie.
Right. We mean episodic.
TV show wise, we don't know yet. No.
Yeah. And we don't watch the CW shows all at the same time, so to coordinate that'll be a little.
Yeah, that would have to be like we'd have to pick a end of the week or some shit.
Right. Because Trayvon, do you watch Legends?
No.
Just Batwoman and Flash?
Yeah.
Do you watch Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we could do a weekly roundup show where we just talk about the CW shows. I mean, we could. We'll figure it out, guys. Don't worry. We'll give you some kind of DC content.
I am intrigued by. I watch Legends, obviously, but they're adding what's his name to the cast, and I'm very curious who he's playing. Donald Faison, I think is him.
Yeah,
Scrubs.
That's his name. Yeah,
him. He's gonna be on the show, so I'm like, okay, that's a bigger name than usual. So I'm intrigued at least.
You know what it is? You know what's funny, Joel? And I'm glad you said that. And don't worry, guys, we're gonna get into Peacemaker. Don't you worry.
Sorry,
what I love about what you said is. But what I love about what you said is Legends made the same transition the Teen Titans cartoon did, going from a very serious drama to a very playful kind of kiddie type show. And that's kind of what Legends did. Like, you wouldn't have young kids watch the first few seasons of Legends, but you damn sure would have them watch the last 5 because it's been way more playful. And you know what I'm saying? More focusing on humor and less focusing on drama and stuff like that. If I'm wrong, because I haven't kept up, please correct me. But
it's definitely more silly. I mean, not that they don't have their dramatic moments, but my thing is they got away from the superhero part of it. You know, there's not as many. There's more random people from time, right out of time. You know, instead of like characters that we like from even if it was just characters from the comics that they pulled out but they don't even do. They're just making people up and throwing them on the ship, and it's like, oh, that's not as entertaining to me.
Right. I mean, I think what would have kept me, Joel, if I'm being honest with you, is after Rip died, right? If they had brought in someone like Booster Gold, and they kept
Booster Gold should have been the main character, honestly.
I 100% agree with you. But that's what I'm saying. If Rip was what they wanted to start with, and then they got rid of him, that would have been a perfect.
I always thought they might go that way because Rip is his son, so it's
right. So I was hoping they would do that, and that would have kept me no matter where the change of that show from comic to series, whatever it changed. I would have stayed for Booster. Like Sarah wasn't enough to keep me.
No, again, because that's another character that was made for the show, more not for that show, but made for that universe. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of characters that are not there. The Firestorm's not there anymore. The Atom is not there anymore. The only superheroes that are Sarah, who's still the White Canary, but they don't even dress in costume anymore. Nate, Citizen
I
Steel.
did love Nate. I did love his.
I love Nate. I still love Nate. But he rarely in costume and rarely uses his powers. I mean, they do use it, but it's very rare. Now, don't get me wrong. Every random ass character has their own unique skill or ability. Like there's an alien on the team, there's a psychic on the team, there's like a witch. You know, what I mean, they're all, but they're not. They're made up for the show,
Right,
not to lose track of where the fuck we're at.
No, but
Is Constantine still on there?
No, he left. He left. I mean, the actor is still, but he is no longer playing Constantine. That character, they wrote him Constantine off at the end of last season. So, but he's now back as a different character.
Oh,
goodness.
Does he have abilities? Does he do magic? What does he do?
He is a scientist from I forget what decade, but he created time travel. That's what it was.
Goodness gracious. Well, speaking of weird, a weird ensemble, we move to Peacemaker, what we're here to break down. Welcoming in Joel and Trayvon, joining me to do this breakdown. I will say there's probably, I don't think in live action history I've ever seen a weirder character brought to life that I immediately fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, someone that I've literally never heard of. I've never heard of Peacemaker in any media.
Sure.
Like I told you guys before, I was aware of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That didn't catch me off guard. Now they didn't have a, extensive comic book runs where people are like, well, I at least know them from blah, blah, blah. Joel remembers at least Rocket from Marvel vs. Capcom, right?
Yep.
Right.
I've heard of Drax, but I didn't know much about him.
Right.
Everyone else I never heard of until I watched the cartoon. Like,
so for me, I don't think, and I'd have to really think hard, and that's not what we're here for, but I really don't think I've ever seen a character that I was just so clueless about. And really didn't care to know more about it all. And then you see the Suicide Squad, and it's just like, I love this character.
I mean, Bloodsport would be a good example.
Oh, for sure. Yes, 100%. Yes. Okay.
Even more so, at least I know who fucking Peacemaker is.
Let me correct that. There's that movie introduced a whole bunch of characters I've never heard of before.
Yes, yeah.
But this one, it you know what? I'll attribute that to Bloodsport if we see more of him down the line. Because I swear to God, he only did that as a table, like a bridge between Will and whenever he's available to do the next
shot. Yeah.
So I'll never see that character is more than just that until I see him again. If I see him again, I'm with you on that.
Hopefully we do. We'll see.
Hopefully we do. Trayvon was actually telling me that the actress who plays Harcourt was tweeting something that had like a hashtag Bloodsport or something in there. So I'm like,
that's James Gunn's girl, right? Harcourt?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I told Trayvon there's no way that if she tweeted that, he's actually going to be in next week's episode, because no way James Gunn would have let that stay there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just that's too blatant. But no. So back to Peacemaker. I've really fallen in love with this character, and the one thing I really loved that they did was, even if Peacemaker in his youth, right? Not youth as like a child, but younger years, was following his dad's footsteps and just taking out the quote unquote bad guys who just so happen to be minorities. I love that you don't focus on that with the character of Peacemaker. So you show how drastically different his ideologies are from his dad, so that you're very clear on this is the good guy, that is the bad guy. That's why I love that the series starts, for anyone that's familiar with Peacemaker, it starts with the janitor going, yeah, I know you. You're the racist guy. And he's like, I'm not racist. And he's like, yeah, you only hunt down minorities. So I love that they started with that.
That was funny, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you add 2 black people to the team. And he was never like, who are you? I'm going to take you down. You know what I'm saying? It was never any of that, because that hate isn't in him.
He trusted the one, minority more than the rest of them,
Right. I mean, hell, you could say his true's best friend that he really, really, really trusts is that janitor. Hell, he even came to do bring your superhero to work day. Not work, but school.
It makes
so
a good point though. I'm sorry, I just saw the tweet.
It's
What?
weird. Like it's like it's weird how she typed it in there. But yeah, okay. No, just go ahead.
No, she
Oh,
says, "Can someone please let Tyler Dubois know that Bloodsport isn't such a bad dad after all?" And it's a picture of the dragon, whatever, his dad, Peacemaker's dad,
right.
in full costume. I'm like, yeah, he's got a good point. He's wasn't that bad compared to that.
But yeah, so no, I really appreciated that because it makes you appreciate this episode more. I will say I enjoyed this episode a lot. If I had to critique, I would say that fight between him and his dad could have been more meaningful. I feel like they were just trying to progress that as quickly as possible. You spent most of that them just chasing him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Chasing the raccoon.
And then essentially Vigilante did what we called literally the episode he said it. Vigilante is technically who stopped his dad, and then he was who gave the final, obviously, bullet to the head. Yeah. But it felt so rushed because it felt like the focus wasn't that. The focus is what Harcourt and them were doing.
It's not the focus. It's secondary to the main, to the Butterfly storyline.
Right, but you're absolutely right. But when it has to do with your main character, it should just flesh out a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And just mean a little. Like, I'll tell you this, Joel. You know what they could have taken out because we really didn't need it? That whole judo master fucking those bullies at the supermarket. Like, take that out and just extend more of White Dragon in Peacemaker. That's my only critique. Literally my only critique of the entire episode is that didn't kind of just stretch a little bit more. But that was it. Go ahead, Trayvon.
I was just wondering, while they were fighting, it finally came out. I was like, oh no, you did it. It wasn't you. Like, I blame, I was like, yes, finally, like, stop blaming yourself for this. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Obviously it wasn't your fault. Yeah. I was like, please, yeah. I think that's all the whole point of this whole thing was. Just for him to get that out. Just for him to finally realize that or say it. So he can stop blaming himself for it. Because obviously your dad is a complete psychopath racist.
Yeah, I had a comparison. I can't even freaking remember it. Shit. And I was really building up to make the comparison because it's just one of those things where it's like that was very important. Him getting over that, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I would have liked more him and his dad one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this show does so many good things. Even the small things I don't like is kind of just like, well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too many good things. Like Vigilante stressing over the tape, but having no problem putting bullets.
I love that. They're so similar, him and Peacemaker, like the way they think. Like they don't mind murdering people, but then they think about like little stuff like that. I was like, it was so weird. Like
I actually see it differently. I think Vigilante is 8 times more extreme than Peacemaker because there were times where Peacemaker was like, you have to relax.
Well, you're seeing the progression of the difference of them. You know,
Peacemaker
didn't start that way. Yeah. But Peacemaker is growing a conscience, and you can see that Vigilante just doesn't have one.
Right. He openly doesn't have one.
But it's like it's almost like Dexter, like on the good side. You know, he's like
right.
It's bad guys. You know what I mean?
Right. But no, I really
sociopath. He really is. He has no feelings that way.
But I appreciate that because I think what you're going to see the progression of heading into the new season, which we know a season 2 will be greenlit very soon, is that I think the more Peacemaker develops a conscience, the more he'll be able to teach Vigilante how to develop a conscience because Vigilante obviously looks up to him. Yeah. He looks up to him big time. It's why,
you know.
I mean, look, we've seen Vigilante work on it. We saw Peacemaker go, you can't throw the knife at the cop.
Right.
Vigilante was just like, all right, fine, I'll put it away. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't, I'm going to do it anyway.
I like that there's that dynamic. It's not something you see all the time because they're all killers.
Right.
But most of them have most of them don't. Some do. As you saw, like the guy that was the sheriff.
I don't know his name, but I know exactly.
Yeah, that guy had no sociopath. Period.
Right.
Mern apparently was just like that before him. Before he was Butterfly. And Vigilante is the same way. It's just that he just uses it differently.
Right.
Just has no connections. It didn't care. But it was funny that you brought up. I don't want to hurt them with the tape, but you were willing to shoot them down.
So he's willing to kill them instantly, but not cause them long pain.
Right. But no, that's what I love about his character because the heart is there. He cares about things, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He's not shut off. But he just has too many screws. Anyone who tells you that they're having an abortion party, would you like to come? Is someone that just has screws loose in their brain.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's clearly crazy as shit. But he's obviously we're seeing how Peacemaker is embedding himself on the team and how the team is embedding themselves on Peacemaker. What did Economos say as they were driving to the cow? And she's like, really, right now? And he's like, there's never a bad time to rock. That's exactly what Peacemaker was saying when he was telling him, like, really now? Like, shouldn't you focus? And it's like, who gives a fuck? Let's rock. You know what I'm saying? So obviously we're seeing the relationships grow big time with both sides. So I'm very excited to see where this goes multiple seasons down the road. Now, I will say this as I pass it to you, Joel. Seeing what happened to Mern scared me because now I'm like, well, I you know this, Joel, because we talked about it. I was 100% convinced this whole team would see season 2.
Oh, you thought all of them?
I thought all of them. Because remember I told you Adebayo was possible because it's a made up character. So like there's nothing necessarily holding it. Right. Exactly. So I'm like, nothing's holding that character there to where it's like, bro, but in the comics she was this bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I thought those two were the possible ones, but the more
they happen to be black people.
Season. Earn dying on Black History Month is crazy. But
don't start nothing, Jerron.
No. James Gunn, I am not starting that at all. I'm not. That was the more meaningful one because if Economos died, it would have been more so like, you're picking on like the you know what I'm saying? Like you picking on that kid, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Mern's was the most meaningful because the guy with no emotions died a hero. The cold-blooded murderer died a hero. So I'll always appreciate that. But Joel, I'm passing it to you. What were your thoughts on this episode? And what was your mindset? Because I watched this at 7 a.m. Because I actually slept through the night, so I didn't watch it at 3 a.m.
Watch that 7 too.
So I just woke up. I'm getting through the episode. I'm like, all right, it's crazy. And I'm like, all right, they're driving to the cow. And I'm expecting to see like
a cow.
When I saw that, I almost damn near threw up. Yeah. I'm like, what is that?
I love how it had the one tooth. It's very cartoon.
Right. Yeah, very. And then I remember I thought to myself, Joel, if depending on what definition you watch the Suicide Squad in, Starro's detail, like the little bumps, looked like he had hair. It was so fucking gross. Right. So walk me through your thoughts. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, it's because of those details that it's even grosser.
Right. Exactly. So walk me through your thoughts on the episode as a whole, and then seeing something so gross so early in the morning. Like you haven't even eaten breakfast yet.
They were milking it too. They were like,
yeah. I'm like,
that's a cow. That's what they call a cow. Thing's fucking huge.
That is gross.
Yeah. So therefore, that's from their plan, and the butterflies are actually much smaller than that thing.
Yeah.
So,
like, how do they milk it in their plan? I don't get it. Did it just?
Wait, I want to ask you something. There's like a bug villain in DC that a lot of people were theorizing.
A lot of bug villains. Queen Bee, like that.
No, kind of like that character. Yes, I can't think of the name. I'm so sorry. But I was thinking it can't just be butterfly. Like it can't just
The
be
butterflies,
right.
Yeah.
I'm hoping something else is behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like a queen or whatever the case may be. You know, obviously it makes more sense just seeing characters without powers just take out other humans, other, you know, advanced humans. But I'm hoping there is something a little bit more meta-human to it than
Just hope there's an actual comic connection that's they made up.
Yeah. But what were your thoughts on this episode?
Good episode. I don't know if it's not my favorite one, but it was a good. They've all been solid, even if like some are better than others. Right. Like I always walk away like laughing and just entertained at the very least. You know what I mean? And like I really was hoping that Judo Master was going to join the fight. That's what I was like. And at that point when he didn't, I'm like, is he a butterfly? Like what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Wait, I'm glad you said that because I want you to elaborate on this, Joel. I want you to keep going, but I want you to elaborate on that point you just said. Judo Master was trying to tell them there was more to the butterflies, but never finished.
He never explained. Yeah.
We haven't seen any different of the butterflies except for Mern. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what was he about to say? What do you think it was?
I have no idea what he was going to say. I thought he was going to probably, you know, once they taste his ass, they probably going to interrogate him, but they didn't do that either.
Right.
Probably just left him in the room and
they left him there
again. Like, this
How did he find them?
I have no idea.
How did he find them?
So I mean, I don't know. He's got secret abilities or some shit. It's weird. I love the character though, because he's this little badass martial artist. I just love the dynamic. I have no idea why. And that's why I wanted him to join, because it would be funny just the three of them talking shit to each other the whole time. There's like eating Cheetos and shit. I'm like, so funny. Just the whole time. Well, that's his thing. He's got a weird Cheeto habit, right?
Yes, he is very weird when it comes.
Maybe that's what makes him not a butterfly. Is that doesn't seem like he's addicted to Cheetos, not fucking whatever that shit that they eat.
Right. Yes, Cheetos is his milk. He
loves them Cheetos, bro. But the episode overall really good. It was it's always emotional. Like, gotta give John Cena a lot of credit for pulling it out. Like, you know, he's been acting real. I mean, for a silly show, because it's a fucking silly show. Mm-hmm. Has a he acts in this show, you know what I mean? Like, he has to cry, so many different emotions: angry, sad, happy. It's crazy. Not, you know, it's just everything. He had every emotion possible was in the show, because it broke down his mental psyche, and it sees how much he hates himself almost over anything, you know what I mean? And it's a lot. It has to do with the fact that his dad's a fucking monster, literally. He's a freak. Again, had his kids fighting for money. Like, there was like a backyard brawling, you know, for money. Oh, no holds barred. And then you're surprised that one of them dies. Oh. You know what I mean?
I mean, and then he was egging him on. He's like, "Come on, don't be a pussy, hit him." And it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him as hard as I can. Like,
kid had a seizure. Dies. Oh, you killed him. I'm like, well, you told me to hit him.
Right. Like, why would you make us fight? Like, don't get some of your other buddies to fight. Why are you making you children fight? And then you're shocked. Like,
exactly.
Weird.
But, you know,
very weird.
Rednecks. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to classify them all the same. But yeah, it's just weird. He was just weird. He's a bad person, and that's obvious. Like, every episode, see a little bit more, and you're looking at him like, does he really care about his son? And sometimes the fact that he's still alive, maybe he does, but not completely. You know what I mean? And now, like, he went to kill him. He went to kill his son. He's like, finally, I should do whatever. Basically, I really still want to know more about what his armory, which is basically like this hidden room in his house. I want to know more about that. And like, why, like, where he got the technology to make those helmets. They don't explain that in his armor and all this extra shit. Because I'm curious about that. And I don't know if they're gonna ever explain that, but where did the White Dragon get that tech? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I do like that, because I was worried about the helmets, because when I found out they were tracking him with the helmets, I'm like, oh, he's gonna throw the helmets away. Then how is he gonna get his? I want him to still wear the helmet. Luckily, it all gets wrapped up in the same scene. He can take his helmet back. I was like, cool, because I want to see what the other helmets could do. He did kill his dad. He definitely fucking did. Eagly kicked some ass in this episode.
Yes, he did.
Eagle did his thing. And then he got backhanded, unfortunately. And my favorite, when they had that moment together in the vet.
Yes.
And he hugging each other, and he took the selfie just like someone's got to see this.
Yeah, what made that scene funnier, like, albeit that was hilarious, what made it funnier was Adebayo going, I just saw a fucking eagle hug a guy. Yeah. She was like, wait, what?
That's what
yes. And then she remembered when he was like, my eagle hugged me today. And she's like, bullshit. And it's like, hey, you don't want to believe in miracles? That's on you. And then she sees it and she's like, no way. Because the way Eagly did it was so adorable, man. Like, as far as like animatronics interacting with humans, I put Grogu reaching for Mando's helmet at the end of season 2 is one of the most emotionally like impacting scenes. And then this. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's 3. It's Grogu and Mando, Groot, Rocket holding Groot at the end of Infinity War. Like holding the dust that's left. And then obviously Eagly waking up and then just hugging him. Like, I love you, man. The fact that an eagle is his best friend will always be hilarious to me. Like, Vigilante did everything to save him, and he's like, no, the eagle. The eagle. I love the eagle.
Yeah, he got blown up. Fucking Vigilante got messed up, passed out, driving, stealing the car, and passed out. He was that messed up. I was like, damn, yo. He took a grenade for him, basically.
Yes. You know what I mean? Wait, I want to ask you this, Joel, before you finish. I want to ask you this. What? Because I think I missed it. Like I said, I woke up and immediately watched it. Okay. I thought when he threw the grenade, he threw it right at the feet of White Dragon.
He did.
How did it hit him so?
I guess it was not. He wasn't standing far enough. I have no idea. Because when it exploded, you saw it engulf him. I'm like, I thought he was farther away than that.
That's what I'm saying. Because I'm like, why would he throw it so close to himself?
Maybe it was more explosive than he thought. That's why he didn't go that far. And he's like, oh shit! That
was probably the first time he used it. Maybe.
That probably is because he's probably never been in situations like that.
No, James Gunn actually just admitted it on Twitter that his visor is prescription. So that's why it takes.
Oh, no, I knew that. Yeah, I figured that when he's in the car and he takes it off and puts the glasses on. I'm like, clearly, clearly that does something for him.
Yeah, obviously he can see good with the visor on.
Right. I do want to see him in this finale, and then I'm gonna let you finish. I do want to see him in this finale use his sword more. I feel like I don't think I've ever seen him use a sword. I don't think he's ever used it. And
just I'm like, for decoration right now.
Yeah, I'm like,
it looks cool.
And the craziest thing about him not using it, Joel, he's consistently been in up close and personal fights. True. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't been in like, all right, I'm gonna just use my handguns for this. Right. He fought a fucking gorilla right here.
Chainsaw.
And never once said, let me just grab this sword real quick.
Yeah, I really would like to see him use a sword because why not? It's there.
That's my thing. And Arrow didn't have that. Arrow didn't have that design. He was just guns. That was it.
Cool.
The Vigilante and Arrow. He didn't have a sword.
Yeah,
it was just guns.
It was just sword. And that's mostly what he was. Vigilante just usually used the gun.
So I wonder. I mean, I love the look, but I wonder what made James decide for the sword. It's a nice touch.
Deadpool.
You said Deadpool? That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. People will look back at Vigilante 20 years from now and go, "That's Deadpool. That was DC's Deadpool." Like, that 100% was DC's Deadpool, and you're not wrong. You're not
Based
wrong.
on origin, he's at least comic book origin, he's more closer to the Punisher.
100% the Punisher, right?
But with this show, he doesn't break the fourth wall, but he's definitely a fucking idiot.
Oh man, Joel, if they ever did that, bro, this show would be like great on so many levels. If he ever turned to the camera and spoke to us, holy shit, man, I would love that.
There is a character in DC that does do that. We'll see if we ever see him in live action. I wouldn't be surprised. He's getting a little bit of a push now in Suicide Squad comics.
What's his name?
Ambush Bug.
Ambush Bug?
Ambush Bug.
Well, his name is Bug, and James Gunn is in charge of Suicide Squad. So that sounds like a character we will see soon. And you know what? I hope he does do it, because you know what's even funnier about breaking the fourth wall is having someone like Harley walk up and go, "Who are you talking to?" And then it's just like, "Oh shit, she can see us too." Like that's crazy. So yeah, I'm telling you right now, James Gunn is listening to our live, and he's just like, "Okay, Joel, thank you. All right."
Funny in the most recent comic book, they're fighting like an alternate because there's a multiverse, right? So they're on an Earth where there's like a Thunderbolts, like alternate like a multiverse Thunderbolts, and one of them is called Blood Pouch or whatever, and it's a clown. Kind of looks like Deadpool and shit, and they go back and forth because they both talk to the fourth wall and shit. It's just funny.
I love that. So Joel, so my question to you is, as you tell me your thoughts on like how it ends with Myrn and obviously that nasty ass thing that looks like it's fresh out of Slither. We started this series kind of hoping that by the time we got to the finale, it would maybe fill in some blanks on who the possible next, new faces of the Suicide Squad could be. So my question to you is, as you go into wrapping up the episode, is there a possibility we see this season end with him in back up in Bel Rev? And then maybe as he's walking by, we see some names on doors that maybe give an inkling of what could come next? Or do you think this is more self-contained and it'll just end with just wrapping up Peacemaker with Peacemaker and that's it? There is no clues to Suicide Squad.
That's a good question. I don't know because if there is a season 2, we don't know that there will be yet, but it looks like there will be. It doesn't have to connect to the Suicide Squad, so it'll just continue his path. And I know James Gunn wanted to, if there was a second season, he wanted to include more Charlton characters. Gotcha. So if he's going to do that, we'll see. Like this season, we saw Judo Master. On top of it, and he's a Charlton character. So like the other characters he'd probably like to dip into, like for example, like the Question or characters like that, because they're all like even like Ted Kord, Blue Beetle's another one, Captain Adam's another one. Like there's characters like that. Those are old school Charlton characters like him. Like I keep telling you, the only reason I know who Peacemaker is because the comedian from The Watchmen is based off of Peacemaker.
You did tell me that. Okay. Way darker, though. Way darker. Way.
Watchmen's just everyone's on like dark personified. But yeah.
Right.
It's all those characters like completely like depressing. Like,
yeah. You know what? I bear with me, Trayvon, because I know bringing this up is a sore spot for you. But the more you mention like Captain Adam and the Question and stuff like that, you know what it gets me thinking, Joel? If Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is successful as a game, James Gunn could implement that, just not with the Justice League though. It's just smaller, big name heroes. So like Adam and stuff like that, having your own Suicide Squad have to take out heroes like that. You could definitely branch into because you're establishing these really fun characters that obviously have a moral compass. So what happens when you tell them, look, I think they're brainwashed, I think they're trying to kill, blah, blah, blah. Whatever Waller's need to point the bullet towards that direction. I'm like, we could really see that come to life, but in a way smaller and more manageable, because we're still trying to figure out how the fuck this game is even a thing. Right?
Are they really going to kill those Justice League members off? Like, it's very
right. And what am I going to do? Like when you go, all right, you're Deadshot, right? Or Harley or Captain Boomerang or whatever. Go fight Flash. And it's like, I have bullets. What do you want me to do? Like, what am I supposed to do here? But when you said that, as far as the Charlton characters, I'm like, Charlton, I'm sorry. I'm now really curious what Adam would look like in this space. Captain Adam. Yes, I'm sorry, Captain Adam.
There's a difference. So people don't know.
No, there is a difference. Adam grows small. Captain Adam is more of like a nuclear bomb.
Walking bomb.
Right. Now I'm just in my mind visualizing what these characters look like in live action. Captain Adam would look fucking dope in live action.
And that silver suit with the fucking. It'd be interesting what Captain Adam would look like in a show like this. It would be cool. I mean, that'd be crazy.
That would be so crazy.
And
Because
he's
we also
very
know
much
this.
he could definitely be like a government tool.
I was just about to say. We do know that he is very country oriented.
Patriotic.
He would die for his country in a heartbeat.
Yeah. He's a real captain.
Yeah, for sure. So I would love to see someone like him have to take down some of these characters. And it's now like, well, shit, how do you take down? Right. How do you take down someone like that? But the way you do that is maybe there's a character within those characters that you can add to Peacemaker's team that maybe somewhat kind of balances things a little bit.
Or you see how there's all this deep state type of crazy shit going on. The greatest character to use for that is the Question. You know what I mean? Like the Mr. Paranoid himself. He'd be perfect on this version of the show that we've seen. Imagine adding a Question to that, bro.
Yep. Mr. E is saying here, first of all, what's up, Mr. E? The white dragon guy is like some racist Iron Man. That's funny. I don't think Iron Man would like to be put in the conversation of that. Racist? But yeah, it's a good it's an amazing analogy. Right. Rest in peace to Mern. I thought they were going to kill off Vigilante. I was shocked till I saw he's alive.
I was a little afraid too there.
Bro, you know what's funny, Mr. E? Vigilante is one of those characters, not people. Let me be very clear. One of those characters that's just too stupid to die. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's just too dumb to die. Because you would think, as we were just saying, throwing a grenade essentially that close, you would think someone who has a grenade would know how far they would need to be away from it. The guy is he's insane. The cow looks like a disturbing realistic depiction of that giant monster from Monsters vs. Aliens. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'll never watch Monsters vs. Aliens again.
I actually really enjoyed that movie.
No, it was a really good movie, but he's right. It looks just like it. And the last thing Mr. E said is we need an Injustice League versus Suicide Squad.
Oh, now that's good. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the not Injustice League as much. I was thinking about the Crime Syndicate.
Yeah, but it I would say yes, 100% Crime Syndicate. You wouldn't even have to sugarcoat that or flavor that. Yes, but Injustice League could work because Injustice League doesn't have to be all big names.
It doesn't,
so it can be.
It should be.
Names. Well, no. I'm saying it can be big names, just not like Joker or something like that. So where you're like, well, you can't kill off Joker. He's in the same universe you have a Batman in. You know what I'm saying? So they can use bigger names.
Joker, no. Yeah.
Right. They can use bigger names. Like they can use Gorilla Grodd. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're ever going to use him in a Flash movie. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, Flash is possibly starting his first movie with possibly Reverse Flash. So you know they're going to double dip Reverse Flash. So the second movie will probably be his Rogues Gallery. And then it'll probably be Reverse Flash again. So I'm like, Grodd might be used as one of those secondary villains, and I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, give him his glory in an Injustice League movie where he can go all out.
Aside from the Rogues and of course Reverse Flash, I think Gorilla Grodd is top 3. You know,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
the Rogues together more so because if it's just Grodd, he's above all the Rogues. I agree. You know,
I agree.
Individually.
I agree. I just really see them, and let's take Reverse Flash out of it. I see them doubling down on a speedster. So I see a speedster in the first one and a speedster in the third one. Right. Who the speedster is, I don't know, but I could see them bookending them, beginning and end. Speedster. That's why I said I could see Grodd maybe being the odd man out. You know what I'm saying?
Can't use King Shark.
No.
He's not really a main villain for anybody.
Not really. But if I were to say King Shark, I'd prefer
Aquaman.
Right.
Yeah, Aquaman.
No, but you can use Killer Frost. She doesn't exist in the DCEU.
That's right. You can use Killer Frost.
You can use her.
Then there's like 2 different versions. You can pick one.
Yeah. And look, we've seen it with television. They could mix and match his Rogues Gallery. You know, take someone out, put someone else in.
Yeah, but see, Killer Frost isn't technically a Flash character until this TV show.
Right. No. I 100% agree with you.
If you're gonna use rogues, it should be Captain Cold and Heat Wave and all that. But we're going off track.
Well, it was just a really good point that Mr. E brought up. That would be really awesome to see in Justice League versus Suicide Squad. Because it's star power. Because if you get big enough characters, we already know what the star power somewhat looks like on the Suicide Squad side. Clearly, that's a movie Will Smith.
Suicide Squad is whoever James Gunn wants at this point. Right. If you're talking big guns, you're like the actor wise, like we'll find a way to put Harley Quinn in it again. Like she just keeps getting caught. Just at this point, just lives in jail.
Wouldn't Injustice just like be? I mean, Dark Justice League. So when they need.
No,
to cast like Superman, when they need to cast those people.
No, wait, like an actual Justice League.
Yeah.
No, I don't want the Justice League in it at all.
No, Crime Syndicate is from like Earth 3, and they are like the just evil Justice League. You know what I mean? That's in Justice League are like they're villains, like the main heroes villains.
Okay,
it's like
Super Friends.
I'm thinking about the game. I'm thinking about the game.
No. I'm thinking about that. No. So you remember was it Super Friends, Joel?
Which one?
The cartoon where it was the Justice League and then the Legion had their
Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom.
Yes.
We said that, I understand. We said Legion of Doom, I get it.
Right. So Legion of Doom essentially is the Injustice League. Essentially.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay.
There's been the different teams, but they're kind of the same concept. Is the problem.
Okay.
I think Lex Luthor has been on probably almost every interpretation.
Yeah, I'll look it up now. Actually, see which is the main version of it. But yeah, it's just basically the.
I'm glad you said that though, Trayvon, because I'm sure there are other people watching that are like, no, it would have to be like Superman, Batman, and it's like no, not Injustice, like that. Injustice League meaning like the opposite of Justice League, and it's literally just their villains, not different versions of them. That'd be more like the movie Joel was talking about, or the team Joel was talking about, but they actually did a movie of it.
Yeah. It's called. Well, they're called the Crime Syndicate. They're actually called the Crime. This is actually, I think they have their own comic.
Okay.
Weird.
It was like Owlman was their version of Batman.
Ultraman, Owlman.
Yeah.
Super. I forget.
They were willing to kill.
Yeah, they're evil. They're evil. Lex is good.
That's fun.
Lex is a good guy.
Like actually, in that universe, Trayvon, they had a Joker, but his name was Jester, like a court jester. But he was a good guy. He wasn't a bad guy.
You know what I did like was the when the Brave and the Bold did it, and he was the Red Hood. It was Joker as the Red Hood, but as a good guy.
Oh, I like that. That is actually kind of dope.
He wore the hood to cover his face because it looks like a clown.
They need to do more what ifs, because you actually could do a what if the Joker became the Red Hood we know Jason did, and instead he was taking down the guys that knocked him in the vat of acid.
Right.
That would be actually really dope.
The original team of the Injustice League was Lex Luthor, like you were saying, Black Manta, Catwoman, Kronos, Dr. Light, Felix Faust, Mr. Element, Penguin, Sinestro, and Zoom.
Yeah, the only one that would not be part of that team is Catwoman.
Yeah, not these days.
Yeah,
no way.
And she's
leaning more hero these days than
villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's funny you say that, Joel, because I was thinking to myself today when I was watching the little teasers they showed of the new logos. DC, and when I saw the Flash one, I kept saying to myself, now that we have Michael Keaton's Batman back, what is the likelihood Michelle Pfeiffer ever wants to come back? like that was the first thing I thought of. I was just like, no way she'll ever do that suit again. But
you're tough getting in that suit. But yeah, maybe an updated version of that.
Yeah, she's like, sorry, you're gonna have to get a stunt person. No way I'm getting in that suit again. Did you ever hear the story about that suit, Trayvon?
No.
She would get in it, and then they would vacuum seal the suit.
Oh wow!
So that's why it was just like the suit was her more so than like wearing clothes. It became her skin. Yeah, they stopped doing that after that. No one, they were like, why would you do that? But anyway, so to bring it back, Joel, how caught off guard were you by Mern?
Dying?
Yeah.
Quite technically. Yeah, well, he was technically alive at the time, right? Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I was shocked because I didn't think he was gonna die already. I mean, I thought that if he was gonna die, maybe the finale, but the penultimate episode without Mern going forward, I'm like, oh, okay. They gave Harcourt the chance to be the leader, and look, after they did that, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if Harcourt became like the Rick Flag of the Suicide Squad going 100%,
100%, 100%. Because look, now Amanda Waller owes her one.
It's true.
She saved her daughter, and she didn't have to.
True. You know,
she could have put a bullet in the daughter's head and went, the freaking things did it. I don't know what happened to you.
I don't know. Butterflies.
I want to just how much does she actually care about her daughter though? Like
Amanda.
Honestly. I would assume. I mean,
well, I'll tell you this.
You kind of sent her into the danger zone here.
Well, wait. I'll say this, Trayvon. For someone as cold as Amanda Waller, remember she killed her entire team in the first Suicide Squad movie. Mm-hmm. So, someone as cold as she is, she seemed very loving to her daughter when they had that call, like when she
to keep her on track.
But that's just not who Amanda Waller is. Like Amanda Waller would threaten you before she would play the love card. Like she threatened to to put what's his name's daughter in jail, and then was telling him what's gonna happen to her in jail. You could have used love in that instant. She didn't give a fuck. She's like, you know what happens to kids in jail. It's like, God damn, Amanda. So I don't know. I think she really loves her daughter, but again, remember, I think her daughter's hiding things from us. Like the viewers. I think her daughter's really, really, really good at her job. And we'll see that in this finale where she's just taking out motherfuckers. And we're like, where has this been this entire time? Like, where is this? You know what I'm saying? So I think there's more to her. And I think Amanda really, really, truly cares for her. She was just the only person she could trust to infiltrate this team and see what's going on. So look, you could be right, but you do have this thing, Trayvon, about not trusting nobody. So,
I've been thinking she's been playing this since the start. I was like, I don't trust her at all.
Yeah, I stopped trusting her when she shot Judo Master. As someone who's never shot a gun before, no fucking way I shoot that perfectly. Ever. Yeah. Ever. Under any circumstances.
Right, I could be before he was going to spill the beans, she shot him right in the chest.
I could be about to die and I'd shoot a wall before I shoot the person. That's that, because I've never touched a gun. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. When I saw that, Trayvon, I was like, all right. You've never shot anybody before? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So Joel, so Mern, I was so I guess when the human body dies, the butterflies can't survive it. So it's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I was kind of expecting that the butterflies can do something on their own. I was very surprised that when he went to fly away and she grabbed it, it was just like, well, I'm dead. They didn't. It's literally a butterfly. They can't do anything. They can't bite you. They can't sting you. So when she crushed it, I was just like, God damn. Like, Jesus. And she's like, I had to. He's a warrior. I'm like, why wouldn't you try to turn him back? Why would you just like, get rid of my best soldier? Die.
Fuck him.
I was very caught off guard. So were you caught off guard on, like I said before, him dying essentially twice?
Twice, yeah. It was both times. I was like, oh shit. And then, oh shit again.
Oh my God. Trayvon, I want to ask you, when they kicked open the door and Mern shoots a few of the cops, and then she asks him something and he gives an answer and she's just like, fuck all this. Pow, boom. Pow, pow, yes. Pow, 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 pow. It's just like, okay. Like, hold on. But Trayvon, how crazy of a roller coaster was this episode to where it was just like, I mean, it even caught me off guard when you see White Dragon kind of come down, knock the truck over, and then they're just by the way, that's the best reaction I've ever seen three people have with a car being knocked over. usually they're like this, and then they got to get back up. They were just standing there like they moved with the truck as it flipped. I was just like, all right, cool.
But used to it at this point.
Right.
It's
White
expected.
Dragon opens the truck, and I just love how caught off guard Peacemaker was. Like, Dad? He's like, yeah, I'm here to kill you. He's like, like Peacemaker was like, yeah, I saw this coming. So what were your thoughts, Trayvon, seeing how crazy of a roller coaster this episode was?
This show is just crazy just to start. It's just like, even was it the beginning of last episode when they found out about Mern or whatever? I thought that was really funny when Peacemaker got there and they were just, everybody knew. He's like, what is going on? What is happening? How do you guys know that? What is, like, tell me, like, we're not stupid. And then here goes Vigilante over here. Which one of us is the Eagle? I was like, oh my God, you just ruined it. Like, God, Vigilante is just off. Just really just off.
He is.
I love it. I love it though. But yeah, he was really betrayed by Adebayo. Like, the way he was looking at her like, you really? Like, I don't think he figured out that she was the one that did the diary yet, right? He doesn't know yet, right?
No, he does.
I don't think
he does. That's why he said he'll never trust her again.
He does. He did.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, exactly. They were sitting next to each other. I can't wait to see your stupid face.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess there's so much other going on. Like,
also Trayvon, really quickly, Harcourt left a message. We don't know if she left a message before that where it was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. She left a message last episode where she said, Peacemaker, this wasn't us. Call me back when you get this. So I think that, and then kind of just piecing it together, it was like, well, it clearly wasn't the person that's calling me telling me it wasn't me. So I think it was just piecing it together. So yeah, I think he does know. And like Joel said, he was like, can't wait till I don't have to see your stupid.
Yeah.
Silly insult.
Eagly is very savage. Like, I think that's what Vigilante said. Eagly was just taking them down as they were walking.
Yes,
it was just his familiar, just like boom, boom, get out of the way, just protecting, very protecting the whole time. That was crazy.
It was awesome.
I was okay. He ain't gotta do nothing. Just keep walking. Like, it's done. Eagly's crazy. I did not know how that would go. When the show first started, I was like, Eagly, I was like, how is this thing like how is it gonna like move? How is it gonna work? And they somehow did it. I feel like that's like the most interesting thing to me about this whole show, that Eagly has such character. Like, somehow, like, it's so funny to me. And very good. Let's see. Harcourt being the team leader made complete sense because she's the one that seems to have it most together in this team. Anyway, Love Vigilante is just very let's kill him. Or especially the cop, when they were above the cop, he was just like,
yes,
he was so ready. He was like, just go over. She right there, man. Let me just
give the word. I'll do it. Give the word. I'll kill her right now.
He was like, no, don't do that to the cop. He definitely has a conscience now. He definitely has one now. It's not I'm gonna kill women, children, blah 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 anymore. Like he said in Suicide
Squad. He talked a real big game,
Yeah.
but we saw how much killing what's his name really affected him.
Right.
Killing Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really fucked him up. He's like, because what he said stayed in his head too.
Yeah.
He's like,
I think it's more. I wonder if it's just like when we didn't know much about his dad during Suicide Squad. Well, we didn't know anything. So when Rick said that, I think it probably triggered him a little bit because his dad like trashes him every chance he gets.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think the biggest thing for him during the Suicide Squad was because Rick was kind of saying, I think Rick at some point, I'm paraphrasing here, was telling him, do you even know why you're doing this? And he's like, yeah, Amanda Waller told me that, it's for the greater good. And then I think after he killed Rick Flag, what stayed with him was, I really don't know if that's even true. I'm just following orders. I have no idea. That's why when he saw the butterfly, he didn't kill it because he's like, I'm done just, blindly taking orders. I want to know the full story before I put a bullet in somebody, let alone kids. Yeah. You got to tell me the full story. So I don't think it was more so just like a drastic change in character. I think it was more so him just starting to realize I can't just keep killing people off the whim of someone else. Right. I need the full story. And then once I have the full story, let me decide if that's something I want to do. So yeah, Rick Flag was a very big influence on who he is today. And I love that because you still feel a piece of Rick Flag living on within, the heart of DC, because it made Peacemaker who he is today. So I appreciate James Gunn kind of just, because Rick Flag, if he had just killed Rick Flag and then that was it, that would have been like, damn, that kind of sucks. But him kind of living on, like that not legacy, but his message living on enough to influence.
Yeah. You feel his presence throughout.
Right. And then, like we just said, Peacemaker becoming a better person could lead to Vigilante becoming a better person. And now that's two people's lives Rick Flag has influenced. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I appreciate him making that kind of more long-standing than just a throwaway death. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry.
And no, you're fine. No, and Mern dying, like, I was like, oh, I see it coming, but I didn't know that's the main one, right? That got inside of the officer. So,
yeah.
So I think it's the main one. Yeah, that was the main one that got inside. Yes. I just I was like, okay, so she's very ruthless. She don't care. Like, that wasn't it. I was like, okay, we're gonna try to talk to you for a second. How do you know about the cow? Boom, boom, boom. That was it. Like, and Harko was shook by it. Harko was like, I was like, you got, like, I was actually surprised that she was so shook. I was like, do you know what team you're on? Like, like y'all are doing some dangerous shit. Like, this is it. I was really shocked that she was so shook by it. I was like, well, you really cared about him like that? like you don't show it. I was like, okay. Like, I guess. I'm really worried about this team. I don't know who's gonna make it out, like, honestly, because these are not superpowered beings, honestly. And the way these things just jump in you, I'm like, I don't know. Like, once they get there, she got all of them. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: Vigilante, I don't have to worry about because he wears a visor. That's a full mask, right? So it's gonna be hard for Butterfly to shoot into his mouth
if he still has it on.
I hope he has it on. To me, I like that look. He doesn't have to have it on the entire fight, but he has to start the fight wearing it. And Peacemaker, and that's why I said, Joel, remember I said to you, I hope for season 2, Peacemaker figures out a way, or Economos even, figures out a way to put all the different abilities in one helmet. Because now it's kind of like, all right, you're in the battlefield. I really don't want to see you like, shit, all right, this one doesn't do what I needed to. Take it off. This one, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, because he has the full bag full of helmets. I don't want to see helmet changes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really do hope Economos hooks him up and he figures out a way to put all the different abilities in one helmet. And he just has to command it.
All of them are going to put one on? You think all of them are going to put a helmet on?
I mean, that would be dope. No, you're laughing. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Because then at least I could say I don't have to worry about helmet changes. Because he only brought like 5 of them with him, and there's like what 4 or 5 of them. 4 of them. Yeah,
all of them will wear helmets.
Right? Because no, seriously, it would give Economos something to do because we know he's not that great with weapons, and he obviously doesn't fight. So give him a helmet. Let him do some shit with the helmet. I would love that, actually, Trayvon. Actually, I'm gonna give you your kudos if that happens at any point they put on those helmets. Yeah, I hope to see that.
And I mean, my last thing, I just think that Adebayo is going to drop this innocent facade that she got and show us who she really is. Because I don't believe it at all. I think that's just I think the wife doesn't even know she acts this way. I really don't. I just think she just has a whole other side that's going to come out, and I don't think the wife even knows about it. So I'm really interested in seeing that. I want to see her switch.
That's what I'm looking forward to, Trayvon, because I said this on Joe's podcast. What I'm really looking forward to seeing with Adebayo's character is we know how Amanda Waller is, right?
Mhm.
Adebayo can't be like that at all because I don't need two Wallers. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see you killing off Viola Davis, right? So I'm curious, maybe this isn't an act. Maybe she learned all this stuff, but she told her mom, I don't want to kill people and do shit like that. I know how to, but I don't want to do it.
Good at it.
Like, I'm good at it, but I don't want to do it. Because you got to just find a proper balance so she doesn't seem too much like her mom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm curious what that balance is. I'm hoping the balance is just as simple as she is the lighthearted version of her mother. She's just as diabolical, but she doesn't utilize any of it unless she ultimately has to. Waller will do that before she says good morning. Like, oh, by the way, I put your daughter in jail to make sure you join my team. And it's like, Waller, you just had to ask me. You didn't even have to do that. like, can I just get a good morning? Do you want to join my team? Sure, Waller, I'll join your team. Like,
can you give my case to me? Thanks. Boom, boom, boom.
Right, like exactly. So you got to find a healthy balance with her daughter because you just don't want to dip into she's the new Waller. Why Waller is still here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think she's just a healthy
maybe it's not. Yeah.
All right. But talk to me, Trayvon. What were your thoughts on the final battle with obviously Peacemaker and his father, and then your thoughts on this nasty ass cow that might even change how I view Milk going forward?
I wanted his dad to die. Then, like, first scene I saw him. So
as soon as he opened the door, you were just like, all right, you got it.
No, because I think the first couple of things he said, I was like, is he
racist bitch? Yeah, he's a racist.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh no. And then especially when I got that glance at that suit, I don't know what episode that was, but when you saw like when he went to the jail, that's when I really wanted him dead. When it was in the jail and all of them were like salute, and I was like, oh hell no. I was like, yes, Vigilante, please do it. Like I was cheering Vigilante on. I was like, please do this. And the pleasure I got in what's his name? What's the guy named? The one that the fake beard, like I'm so mad I remember.
Economos.
You always making fun of him by the beard. And that stuck with me. But yeah, Economo. Yeah. But yeah, just I love him shooting them down. Like I just was like, these idiots are walking around with these things on their head. I was like, they serious right now? Like, oh, this it just burned me up. And I was like, yes, he's dead now. That's what he deserves. But I will admit, the suit was kind of cool. The flying was cool, and I felt really bad about thinking that. I was like, the flying is cool, and the little energy blast was cool. I felt bad. I was like, God, why do I like this suit and this? Oh, no. I was like, this is good.
Look, I'm with you. I was more so excited with legit how comic accurate that suit looks. Like it's just
I have no idea what he's
staggering. How much it looks like its comic counterpart. So just looking at it, it's just like, damn, this looks good. Now, albeit Trayvon, the suit still looks good with a bullet in his forehead. So I didn't need him alive for the suit to still look good. But goddamn, did that suit look good? And the fluidity of it. Like usually they make the suit so bulky and it's like walking like this. It seems so fluid to his actual body size. So I loved everything about it. And I do wonder, Trayvon, before you finish up, I do wonder because his name is Robert something. I can't remember his last name. Who played White Dragon?
Robert Patrick. Thank you.
He plays these kinds of roles often. I've always wanted to ask actors like him, how do you not take any of that home? You know what I'm saying? Like you study these scripts months before you start filming.
He's like,
and then you like essentially become this character. Like you're not gonna tell me after Robert Downey Jr. did damn, what was that movie?
Judge?
No, the comedy movie.
I didn't talk about.
You know what I'm talking about. There's no way he Yes, no way after Tropic Thunder he didn't still talk about the brother like a few weeks. Like, ain't no way you telling me he got out of it that quick.
That movie's funny.
No, I just saw an interview where Joe Rogan asked him, like, could that movie happen today? And he's like, it could. I don't know anyone brave enough to want to do it, but it could. Right. I wouldn't suggest it. Right. But no. So I am curious, like, playing roles like that, when you go home, does it mess with your mental? Like, I'm not racist, but I played a really good one in this movie.
But I played a good one on TV.
I'm a damn good racist when I'm paid to be, but I'm not one outside of it. But no, Trayvon. So walk me through seeing that nasty ass cow.
Well, he's you know, and I'm not gonna say it.
Say it.
The guy that plays him is not that great person either. But I'm not gonna leave it alone. He's a Trump supporter. Anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. So I was very happy to see So yeah. Let me see. So the big cow. I was really taken aback by that. I was like, okay, they said it was a cow. So when we got there, I was like, oh, James Gunn he just loves this alien, weird, crazy shit. And I was just like,
started off with Slither, man. That was his first big movie with Slither.
I mean, I should have been like prepared because we saw Starro or whatever. I should have been like, I should have been prepared, but I really wasn't. I was like, this is what they eat off of? I was like, but then it's just so weird. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like, how are they going to kill it? Like, that's all I thought about. I was like, it's so big. Their guns ain't working. Like, I don't even think that grenade gonna work. If you got,
I don't know, but I can tell you somehow Vigilante's gonna end up inside that fucking thing. I can just feel it. I can see it. Vigilante's gonna be like, I'm in here. What do I do now? And it's like, why are you inside of that thing? It's like, I don't know. I thought it would help.
He gonna go over there. He gonna go over there and milk it probably. Or
knowing his ambitious self, he just might. No, but yeah, I was expecting a cow, and seeing this nasty ass thing was just like, oh God, jeez, Louise.
Now, for going forward, whenever they mention a regular starfish, cow, anything like that, I'm gonna think it's something crazy as hell. Yep. I'm like, let me get ready, whatever this thing gonna look like. But yeah.
Let me find out some kind of alien is in Guardians 3. I'm gonna go, nah, I'm gonna close my eyes. No way in hell I'm looking at that thing.
This show has really blew my mind, and overall, like, it's just, I I remember when I first heard about it, well, this is stupid. I was like, a show about who? So we haven't even met him yet, and you got greenlit a show? I was like, really? Mm-hmm. This is off the strength of John Cena. Like, I was really doubted the hell out of this, and I was like, okay. Fine. I admit it's good. Especially since the racist is dead now. It's very good now. So I admit when they first did that jail scene, I kind of was like, I don't know about the show. I don't know.
It was iffy for sure. It was iffy for damn sure. But I mean, it always helped balance itself knowing that Peacemaker wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
they're the obvious bad guys.
Right. We weren't feeling racism every single episode. Like, all right. Take a break, right? Like, so it balanced itself out. I'm more curious because clearly after this, Peacemaker's gonna have to go back to jail. Clearly, I wonder how in season 2, clearly when he gets out again for whatever the mission is, does he stay in his dad's house? Because I want to keep seeing that neighbor. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the neighbor. So I'm like, I think he probably moves into there and utilizes that vault.
So he leaves the trailer park.
Yeah, he leaves the trailer park and just moves into his dad's house.
He's so almost like a caricature of he's literally white trash. That's what he's like basically is, right?
Yeah.
It's hysterical. That
the full essence of it.
A typical, just what you would imagine. It's hysterical that he is that. But they gave him so much depth and I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's beautiful, and he's also beautiful,
isn't he?
Okay. No argument.
Hey, he came out. I mean, they pretty much admitted he was bisexual.
They sure did. Oh, you know, I caught that. I saw. Okay, I heard that. Got it. Now let's explore that in season 2. Explore that in season 2. Okay.
The way you said that,
I'll just say it.
Well, no, we saw it. We saw it in season 1 when we thought like, oh, him and Vigilante were just tag teaming this chick. Now you question, were they, or was this a triple threat? What was this? We have no idea.
Like that hula hoop scene,
especially as much as you see Vigilante loves Peacemaker. It's like, all right,
yeah.
How much
the birthday as the passcode, like
right? Yeah, like all right. But speaking of that, Joel, I wanted to ask you this because this is probably said and I just missed it. Did Vigilante ever say what happened to his brother?
Did Vigilante ever say what happened to his brother?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because Vigilante even mentioned family?
Yes, Vigilante was saying his brother used to run with Peacemaker. That's how he knows Peacemaker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right, his brother used to run in with him. But I'm like, they never said like his brother died, and that's what made him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they don't mention that. We know, obviously, me and Joel know from the comics that Vigilante's family was murdered, and that's what made him
mob, like Punisher. That's why it's very similar.
Right. Wow. So they don't allude to any of this. So I think, knowing James Gunn, we will have an episode in season 2 where it's a Vigilante episode where he's going over what made him to be this way. But I just know he brought up his brother before, and then we never heard him mention his brother again. So I was like, is he alive? Could we see him? I don't even know in the comics, Joel, does his brother died, right?
I don't even know if they brought up his brother in the comics.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I would love to know a little bit more about that. It's not that important, but whenever they mention something like that and then don't mention it again, I'm like, I'm curious. Okay, all right.
Right.
But no, I think we all can agree we've enjoyed this season so far of Peacemaker. It's exceeded, I can safely say, all of our expectations, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So I personally can't wait to see what this finale is, how crazy it is, how big it is. And look, because Peacemaker is a comedy, I've liked the end credit scenes that we've been getting. They're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, extended ridiculous versions of.
They are hilarious. So I can't wait to see if the finale has a end credit scene that's just comedy driven, or is it something that's like, oh shit, that's what we can expect. Because again, I will remind people, Joel did tell me it was rumored, if not confirmed, Harcourt may be in Black Adam.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, are there some breadcrumbs from this to Black Adam? Because we have no idea where Black Adam takes place.
Yeah, we'll say that's interesting. How does it connect? How does they even connect?
Right, because the way Suicide Squad seemed was that she wasn't an active field member. Right? She was more base of command. She worked there with Waller. So I'm curious, is Black Adam, and again, this doesn't matter, but I'm just, canonically, I'm curious. Where does it line up timeline wise? So I hope she is in it, and maybe we get more breadcrumbs, because we did get some in the episode where Vigilante threw the trash can at the window and the newspaper was talking about conduct.
Right.
So we got some. But if she is indeed in it, I wonder if there's a little bit more breadcrumbs. But look, we'll hopefully see this Sunday. Hopefully The Rock brings a Black Adam trailer to the Super Bowl.
Well, he just said that he's dropping a 60-second clip soon.
I'm sure.
He just said, I just tweeted it. I'm just trying to remember.
A clip? Okay, no problem. This movie doesn't come out till towards the summer, so I'm fine with just a clip for now. Even though technically we got a clip.
Tomorrow he's gonna drop the 60-second clip
for Black Adam
or 60 spot. I'm sorry, TV spot. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Wait, tomorrow? That's so. Then you know what, Joel? That feeds into
the trailer might be Sunday too.
Well, no, that feeds into what I've been saying, that these studios don't want to pay the Super Bowl to air some of their trailers. So if he's dropping it before the Super Bowl, that lets you know there will be nothing at the Super Bowl.
I don't think they need it. Just like how I feel like just how Ryan Reynolds dropped his own trailers, The Rock should do the same. They're both
can do the same.
They both have
we're in a whole different age now. When the Super Bowl was important to people is because YouTube was like, okay, but no one was like paying attention. But there was no Twitter for you to just drop it. You know what I'm saying? Because you think everyone has Twitter today. I can't safely say everyone had YouTube back then enough to where it was like, all right, I know when it's gonna drop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's just right at your fingertips. It's easier to just go here. You have it. I didn't have to pay anything for me to just drop it.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so hopefully we see how all this connects. I'm very interested in seeing where Peacemaker goes from here. You know what I'm saying? Does he escape? Does he go back to jail? Because it seemingly, I don't know what Waller did to the people that escaped at the end of the Suicide Squad. So I'm like, if I'm Peacemaker, I'm like, well, shit, wait a minute. They escaped. I'm gonna try the same thing. Fuck it.
Right? I wonder if Adebayo is gonna try to fix the diary problem. And then maybe...
No, I'm more curious, will Adebayo or Harcourt destroy the chip, the bomb in his neck? Or in his head, in his head. Because if they destroy that, Waller has no leverage over Peacemaker. The only leverage he has right now is, well, if he gets out of line, I can just pop his head off. No problem. So I'm very curious.
I forgot about that.
No, it's easy to forget.
Still have it.
It's easy to forget because it's not Suicide Squad, so they don't have a need to hearken on it.
Right.
So it is one of those things where it's like they mentioned it once in the first episode, never again. Because again, it's not. They don't want you to keep thinking like Joel said. It's all connected that deeply, right? Even though you did see Waller, even though they did mention the bomb, they want you to still.
You can easily watch Peacemaker and not watch Suicide Squad, and not really be lost at all. Now, if you want more, where they give you a little clip before. Before
that's what I was just about to say. Well, they give you the clip, so at that point you're like, "Well, I'm all."
But if you really want to see where can you watch the whole movie, you get a better understanding of the character and where he's coming from,
right?
Which you should do, but not everyone cares,
Right. So I mean, look, that's a good thing that James Gunn always makes sure. Look, this is connected, but it's not connected in the sense of you got to follow every movie that comes out that may or may not have Peacemaker in it or Harcourt or Economos. Don't worry about that. I'll handle it when you see season 2. You know what I'm saying? So, bravo to James Gunn and this entire team. I will say I've skipped the intro every episode outside of the first episode.
Me too.
For the finale, I am going to watch it, knowing that it's the last week I'll see it till next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, till next year. So I will be watching the intro for the finale.
I watched the intro the first time, and the first time I saw the show, and I skipped it the next 2 episodes, but I haven't skipped it since. So every week I just sat there, I'm like, whatever. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys know me and the whole musical thing, but that's not honestly why I skip it. I skip it because I watch this. I do the same thing with all the shows. Let me be very clear. I even did it with Boba Fett. I watch this shit at 3 a.m. I don't want to hear the singing. I want to get right to it. You know what I mean? Now, if I watch it later in the day, I'd be fine. I'd be on my phone through it.
That is my shit.
I
would never skip Boba Fett or Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Those songs are amazing.
Dum, dum,
okay.
Yeah, that shit's awesome, bro.
And you know what? Shout out to whoever did that theme, because in the finale you hear it clear that they're just yelling Boba's name a million times. Like you hear it a lot sharper than you do in the intro. And it hits so hard, man. I love it equally the way that I love the Mandalorian theme.
It's the same guy.
It just hits so hard. Yeah, Garrick.
Ludwig, whatever.
Yeah,
the guy did the Black Panther
thing. Right. Gudwig, it might be. I don't know. I know who you're talking about, though. I know who. He didn't do the whole soundtrack. He just did the main theme. Just did the theme, right? Yeah.
His name is Ludwig.
Ludwig. That's what it is.
Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah, that Boba theme slaps. But yeah, I am gonna watch the Peacemaker theme for the final episode because, like I said, it's the last one I'll get until next year.
You know what I noticed about that theme? They kind of look like puppets when they're like dancing. Like they have no face. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're possessed.
Amanda Waller's up there. Yeah.
Bro, you know it's funny. You know it's funny. I was listening to the choreographer say how she was mixing new dances with like old dances, and I swear to God, I don't know where the new dances are in any of those moves. Like I've never seen anyone get on the dance floor and do any of that. So I was very perplexed when she said that. I'm like, I don't know if maybe she's thinking new is like when she was young new, because it can't be today new. Because don't nobody do none of that shit.
Ouch.
No, I'm not saying like she looks 90. But anyway, shout out to James Gunn, John Cena. John Cena has now completely destroyed the theory of John Cena can't carry anything on his own. Because there's not Robert. I know what people are going to say. Robert is a legacy actor. I get that. But there is not a name bigger than John Cena's in this show today. That literally everyone's grandmother, grandfather, auntie, uncle, little kid, everyone knows John Cena. There is no one else in this series that you could say that confidently with. So to me, John Cena is clearly owning this show and leading it by a mile. So we can get rid of that whole concept of he can't carry anything on his own. He's carrying probably this year's best show so far, obviously, so far. Technically last year, really. I guess however you want to. No. It started in January.
Right.
Yeah. So it is this year. Sorry. Yeah. It started this year. I don't know why I thought I'm thinking Boba.
It's a hell of a way to start the year. So like by hope December, are we still thinking about Peacemaker? Maybe, because this show's crazy.
It is. And you know what, Joel? You want to know why we will? We'll get a green light before July. And then when they do Fandom, James Gunn will get on and kind of give us an idea of what season 2 will be. And that'll have us go, they're going to do the question? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll have something big like that that'll make us go, okay, I'll be talking about Peacemaker for at least 3 more months. You know what I'm saying? As more news starts to come out. So yeah, I think we will. I think we definitely will for sure. Yeah, and look, that's great if you're HBO Max. I don't think Titans had that. I think when Titans ended, it kind of just it was like done. Out of sight, out of mind. Done. Good season, solid season.
Well, I was excited for it just because of Blackfire, how they did it. But then what we got was what we got.
Right. But I mean more so. I think more people were divided with Titans than they are with. I think everyone's on the same page for Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Sure. Peacemaker is probably HBO Max's Mandalorian, to where it's just like, well, everyone loves it. Like no one's here complaining about anything. I fucking loved all of it.
I see complaining about Peacemaker normally like the Snyder Cut people. Like,
I don't know. And you know what's funny? Complaining about the Mandalorian or complaining about Peacemaker is funny because there's only maybe 5% of the world that knew who Peacemaker was. So what do you have to complain about?
Well, I just don't like how bright and vibrant and singing and all the extra shit about it. You know,
that's I don't like the concept of that. I don't like the concept of that because I'm like, that's not how the comics are. Like it's not. It's how one director's vision was for a universe. It's not how the comics.
That's what James.
It's not. It's not just the Peacemaker. It's going to be to anything because
that's not Snyder. Correct.
You know, I mean, it's just going to be like that because you can tell they're trying to write him out. So it's fine.
But Peacemaker's his character.
They're trying to overwrite his his DC.
Yeah, but he's one person. He doesn't have to. He's not the whole.
I know. I'm saying. I'm just telling you. That's what people are looking at. They're looking at.
But they should. I don't understand.
To overwrite it.
But they should. He's no longer a part of it, and they're trying their best to rectify all of the mistakes that were made.
People don't see there is nothing to be rectified. That's the problem.
Oh well, then those people. Again, I always say this: those people are Snyder fans. They're not DC.
And they prove it all the time because
I'm both. I'm in the middle because I very much like Snyder.
I like Snyder. I'm really fucking excited for Rebel Moon. That looks fucking cool.
That looks great, but let me elaborate, and we're getting out of here. Let me elaborate, Trayvon, because I don't want to make that sound like an insult. What I'm trying to say is, like, for example, me and Joel are Batman fans first. So when Ben left, we weren't like, well, fuck it, I'm not supporting any other Batman, right?
Yeah,
we're Batman fans.
Never happen.
We supposed to support whoever's under the cow. What I'm saying is the Snyder holics, they seem very insistent on, if Snyder's not doing it, I don't like it. So I'm like, if that's your mindset, you're not a DC fan, you're a Snyder fan. That's fine. But don't come here and muddy our waters of, well, this is what the world should look like. No, you're not a DC fan. I don't think you know what the world should look like. You just want it to look like what your favorite director made it look like, which again is personal and is fine. But don't come here and try to rain on our parade because we like sun shining. We like to laugh a few times. We don't mind that a bullet or extreme violence is not literally in every eccentric part of every character. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
I do know what you're saying, but you are generalizing. You're making it seem like his movie is all just that stuff, and it's not. But
all of Zack Snyder's movies,
he has jokes in there. He has. It's not like you make it seem like it's all dark, no laughter.
Zack Snyder has never made a movie where the suns come out.
That's not true. It's just very saturated.
Bro, 300, I swear to God, I had to put the contrast on all the brightness all the way up. I was like, oh, there is a sun. My TV's format needed it up more. Okay.
It's a style, and it's a decent style, and I loved it for the time. And I like it. It always works because Snyder's vision, like especially when it comes to cinematography and the way he likes to toss them, right? Not a problem. But the problem with them is that they want everything to look like that, and there's more than one vision,
right? You know, it's why him introducing almost your entire Justice League was a problem because now he's formatted what he wants these characters to look and be like, and then it's like, no, I can't tell you, Trayvon, how I wanted to hug James Wan when I saw how bright and vibrant Aquaman's world was. Bro, as opposed to even Aquaman's suit was dark in his Justice League.
Barely any color. It was green, dark green.
Where's the color?
I'm sorry. I would take his Wonder Woman over the one we got right now. So
what?
Wait,
no way.
I like Zach's. I like that Wonder Woman more than
Ugly.
I'm talking about the actual type of Wonder Woman. I don't care about the color and all that stuff. I care about the character, the fighting, the ruthlessness, the strength that she seemed to have in his movies. And when he helped with Wonder Woman, like I like stuff like that. I don't really care about the color or whatever. I didn't really care about that stuff. I care more about the characters. I understood why the characters were the way they were.
Relax with the fucking. She's like, she's a bitch now because she doesn't want to use the sword on human beings. Cut their heads off like a fuck. Seriously, they're humans.
I want strength.
She's strong. That's why she doesn't.
But she's fighting humans, though, Trayvon.
Right? What are you gonna
do?
You're gonna cut people's heads off, motherfucker.
What do you want her to do?
She could throw them.
She did.
No.
She tied him up with her lasso. She don't need a sword against regular people.
Right.
That's just smart.
To each his own. Let's
doesn't make sense. Like she didn't fight normal people.
That's overkill. That's overkill. I wouldn't have Superman fighting humans. That's overkill. Like why is he fighting humans? What is he gonna do?
Oh, he doesn't really fight them. He kind of just flicks them.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, literally one flick and a head would pop right off someone's body.
Well, that's him showing constraint. That's the problem. Like she doesn't have to kill anyone, and that's the point.
Well, and also Wonder Woman, I know everyone always goes off of the one line she delivered to Batman, but I mean, she isn't really a killer.
She's not a murderer, but she will kill, is what she's trying to say.
Will.
I won't hold back if I have to, but she's not a fucking mass murderer. Is what,
it's not in her. She's very restrained. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
she's different because she will kill as opposed to Batman and Superman. Right. True.
That's why she told Batman the famous line of, I don't have a rogues gallery. Like, no one's still breathing for me to worry about that. It's pretty cool.
Most of them don't come back.
Yeah, they don't return. But no, like I said, Trayvon, how you view it, I will always respect because, like I said, there was a time where that's all I had was Zach's vision. It was once it opened itself up. No. I'm saying, Joel, when he was making these movies, that's all I had in live action was
no. I understand. And I completely agree with you because like when he was I was 100% behind that whole thing. And it's not like I'm not now. It's just that I'm trying to explain to other people there's other ways to do it.
Right.
And like in more accurate ways to do it. Like there's like more visually accurate is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's like Trayvon, usually people like their Robins to be on the alive side, not dead. And their Batman's not to be.
He made weird decisions and wanted to do weird things with it. And I didn't agree with a lot of that. But look, my problem wasn't he had a great run in a way, you know, like his movies didn't always hit. I defended them, but they didn't always hit right, you know. Right. And I did enjoy them for what they were, and I defended BVS, even though I don't love it, but I do like it, and I defended it forever for the longest time. Even
I defended Man of Steel for forever for people who were saying that's not Superman. It's so dark and brooding.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro,
I defend the neck snap and everything. Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't like
you
it,
didn't
but
understand the ideologies of Superman.
I understood why he did it. You know, a whole bunch of shit. I don't mind that because I like Man of Steel was great. You know what I mean? It's not my favorite DC movie, but it is great. You know.
Yeah. But like I said, Trayvon, I view Zach the same way I view looking back on Ben's time, to where it was like, was Ben at that moment to me the greatest Batman I've ever seen? Yes. But on the outside, I don't ever need my Batman that big again. I don't ever want to see my Batman driving his Batmobile through other people's cars with people in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to see him branding people.
Branding people is a little much.
But I don't ever look back at Ben's Batman and go, oh, I fucking hated that. No, I appreciated what it was. I appreciated Zach for what he was. But the first time, Trayvon, I saw Jason Momoa's Aquaman come out of the waterfall in orange and green, I was just like, so this is possible. It's so bright and colorful and beautiful and epic. And that's my only issue. In Zach's mind, everything looked like Watchmen. And it was like, it works for Watchmen. It works for 300. For the Justice League, where Flash is supposed to be hope and bright, it doesn't work like that for them. So that was my only issue. But like I said, I will never badmouth Zach. I'm with you. I loved some of the aspects of what he was doing. And I love seeing him do Rebel Moon and more things that are not. I look at Zach somewhat like I look at Michael Bay. You doing original content, beautiful. You doing something that actually is based off of something is where it starts to get a little murky. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it. They are brilliant original concept thinkers. But when you got to do your Transformers or you got to do your Justice League, they have very weird visions for how things are supposed to look and be. And that's all I'm saying. But I will never disrespect Zack Snyder. 300, I tried to Spartan kick every kid at Halloween. Are you serious? I'll forever love that man. So again, I don't ever want you to think that I'm saying anything bad about him. It's just
what was the zombie movie?
Arm of the Dead.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh yes, I did like that. I even liked his spinoff with the kid.
Well, yeah, that was okay. That one I didn't hate it, but it was a little.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, especially when the movie started, and I'm like, is this whole thing in German or something? And then when you hear other people, you're like, oh, okay, thank God.
International for sure.
Right. But no. So I just wanted to be very clear, Trayvon. You will never hear me speak ill of Zach as a director. I just think visionary for DC just wasn't the guy. That's it.
Not long term, because he obviously didn't have a long term vision. He had a short term vision.
Trayvon, he was gonna kill my Batman. Like I don't think you'll ever understand how I could just never agree with that.
He was old, but it's fine.
Because
why was he old? That's the question. Why was he old?
He's been doing it for a long time.
But you don't start a universe with a 50-year-old Batman. That's the problem.
I hear all of it. Trust me. I love Zack Snyder. I love the way he did it, but I'm also gonna see everything else. So it's fine. Like,
right. But see, that's what we appreciate about you, Trayvon, because the problem me and Joel have is other Zackalites don't think like that. They think very much, if Zach's not doing it, I don't give a fuck about it. And it's like, well, no, don't do that. Don't throw away the camera.
I don't give a fuck if that's what you believe. Just don't shit on my parade, all right?
So you Zackalites out there, relax. We love Zach, okay, but let him do Rebel Moon and let's see what else we can get.
I saw someone tweet some talking shit about Star Wars while Rebel Moon was. I'm like, are you serious? Like, why does everything have to involve Zach? Why?
They're going to do that. They're going to do that.
But why? Why are they so weird?
I'm waiting for the Dune comparison.
It does look like Dune.
Well, to be fair, Star Wars is Dune, just a way better version.
Well, at least Star Wars left Tatooine. You know, if it didn't, then it would definitely be Dune.
Yeah.
That's why the last words Boba said was, "I get the fuck out of here." This is just too much desert.
There's a lot of Tatooine the last couple of episodes, right?
But no, Trayvon, I love you, man. And you know what I love most about you, Trayvon, is that you stick to your guns. Nothing ever wavers you. And I will always respect that about you, because I don't like people that are like, you know what, Joel? Yeah, I don't like that either. No, if you enjoy it, you fucking enjoy it. You take that with you, man. I love that. Because it's just three people just very passionate about what they believe in. That's all it comes down to. That's all it comes down to.
I love DC. I love DC so much, and it gets a lot of a big bad rap.
Yes.
Such a bad rap, and it doesn't deserve it because there's so much good DC out there. It's not even funny, but people don't know it because they're scared, because all they know is the movies. And look, as good as the movies, those Snyder movies were, they scared a lot of people away, and it's not good. We want to bring people in, you know.
And I'll say this, Trayvon. As passionate as you hear Joel speaking about DC is as passionate as I've been speaking the last few weeks about Star Wars. It's everything to me. So when people are telling me this and that, and it's just like, I live and breathe every aspect. Joel still reads DC comics. You know, this isn't Joel talking about comics from 15 years ago.
No,
he reads up to date. So he watches it from animation, reads it, live action. You know what I'm saying? So the dedication is there. So when people are looking one way at DC, he's like, but you're forgetting about everything all over here. It looks different everywhere. It's not just one stylistic way. That's why. And now how much more open are you to Star Wars watching Clone Wars now that we've gotten you to watch it?
Yeah, I mean, I said, I was not it didn't even cross my mind like, oh, let me see Star Wars until The Force Awakens. And I was like, okay, I need to understand at least something before this movie comes out.
Right.
So yeah,
but that's why I said it's important to watch. You don't have to read the books, but it's important to watch different avenues of these superhero worlds, because picture if someone's first Star Wars experience was Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then Rise of Skywalker. Those are two of the most divided Star Wars movies ever. Or Star Wars anything.
I see online,
Right? So picture if that was your first introduction and you're like, is this what all Star Wars is like? No.
It wasn't like, I mean, I get that if you compare it to all the other stuff, I guess yes, but I didn't think it was that bad. It's still a fun time. Like, I think I saw like four. I think I saw Force Awakens like 5 times.
No, Force Awakens was brilliant.
So fun.
Force Awakens was brilliant. The Last Jedi, you know my only issue with that movie. And then Rise of the Skywalker, I thought was trying to clean up
Rise of Skywalker
of what Last Jedi.
Like nostalgia was it was a fucking ride. If anything, it was a nostalgia ride. And it's not always a bad thing. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. I fucking loved it. It had its moments. Tried too hard, yes. But I still enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And Star Wars should be fun. You should love it. And look, you're gonna have your opinions, but don't let people take away what you love. If you like Last Jedi, fucking like it. Don't let people.
I wish I didn't get jaded by Solo when it was coming out. Like that was one, and I wish I didn't listen to other people because it's great.
Jawan
I was so mad at myself. I was like, God, man, I wish I just went and saw it because I didn't I was like, I don't need to see it. It's just a standalone thing. Like, you know, but
I thought the exact same way. And then so much came from Solo that like now I swear by. So I'm like, I'm glad I finally saw it, and I loved it. I loved everything about Solo. Yeah. I don't care that he didn't resemble Harrison. I don't give a shit about none of that. I loved everything about that. Yeah. So that's why I said it's just good to have more than one thing to judge an entire universe by.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Your mind, because that movie you had to open your mind.
Right. Don't let one thing shape you. Watch everything, and then if you still come back to that one thing, by all means, you do you. But if you let it shape you, it'll jade you from really cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, we should never be in a space where we watch Luke, Grogu, Ahsoka, and then we're finding a way to complain about something. What the fuck? That's really good shit you just got. Enjoy it. That's it. But all right, I want to thank you guys for joining us for this breakdown. Mr. E called it a cult.
What?
I don't know if I'd call Snyder a cult. But,
a cult? I have called them a cult in the past. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You have to be a cult in order to get that Snyder cut. So
that is true.
There was some sacrifice.
There was a real campaign for that. There was a real campaign.
There was definitely some blood sacrifices that happened.
100%. There's a state with no goats right now. That's for damn sure.
Innocent lives was definitely sacrificed.
But we got it though. That's the whole point. We got it.
Yeah, you got it, and it was as good as advertised. So you're absolutely right. But I'm glad it ended there. But I'm so glad
it was nice to get it.
But I want to thank Trayvon and Joel for joining me. I'm glad we got to talk Peacemaker. Got to talk Peacemaker with my brothers. Go ahead, Joel. Yeah,
I forgot I was gonna say it. No, get out of the way. We were talking about fandom and all that extra shit, right? Mm-hmm. And my niece, I'm very proud. She came up to me. She wants to watch the Arrowverse from the beginning.
Oh,
the Arrowverse,
the whole thing.
Wow,
that is commitment.
Wow,
that is commitment. I credit her all the way. I'll see if she actually does the whole thing, but it's a lot, and it's a lot she's gonna have to watch. But like, I appreciate that she wants to. And that's a lot. I'm not forcing you to do anything because like that's some of that shit's hard to get through. But
I give her a lot of credit because the way it's expanded, you go, all right, well, there's some shows now, and you're like, oh, it has nothing. Yeah, it is connected to the Arrowverse. Yes, like it's a lot. It's a lot. Arrow itself was almost 8 seasons.
It was 8 seasons.
Eight. It was
even worse. It was 8 seasons.
It wasn't a full season.
Almost, and all 7 were like 22 apiece.
Yes. So, I tell you what, whatever other shows your niece watches, get rid of them.
Cut it out. It's
You won't have time. Yeah. You won't have time.
I told her just get through it, and good luck, because she likes watch. She'll watch some shows. I'm like, why not watch? You like all the Marvel shit. Like, why don't you try watch the CW show? You watch the CW shows. It's not like you don't watch CW. So I'm like, oh, she's like, and then her boyfriend wants to watch some other shit. So, and tries to talk her into watching The Flash. So she's like, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to watch it for the beginning. I'm like, oh.
I watch Arrow first. Yeah.
And Joel, what you got to do to trick her is, I'm not even sure, this Stargirl show, I think, said Flash's name once. You should watch that too. It's like, all right, I gotta put that in there.
I'll let her get through some of these first seasons first and see how she likes it. I'm like, look, Stargirl, not really connected at all. So you can just watch that, and it's quick.
You'll see a familiar face, but he's not.
But I want her to get through that first. That's why I want her to get through Flash. Right. And then I'll talk about Stargirl.
Flash came to Arrow season 2, right?
Yes.
The end of season
during
2?
the Mirakuru.
Mid-season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, during the Mirakuru outbreak. Yeah. Because he was investigating some Mirakuru attack in Central City, I think.
The excitement.
I remember that. That was
that feeling, man. That was so cool.
I remember when they announced Barry Allen's show. I'm like, what the fuck?
And he was from Glee. I was so excited. I was so excited.
I did. Nothing about Glee. I knew nothing about
And then Melissa from Glee as well. I was like, oh,
you know what it is? She loved Glee. And I'm like, well, good. She'll know people. I had no idea who they were.
Yeah, I had no idea who any of those people were. So I was just like, all right, okay, all right. And now I remember going, he acted really different than the Flash I'm used to. Because Joel, I'm used to Wally. I grew up on Wally. So watching Barry for me was just like, okay. Not as funny as the last Flash I've seen, but okay.
That's not, and that's the best character that's ever been added to the Flash was Tom Felton, Malfoy. I was so excited. I about died when he got announced. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who's in the show?" Yeah. I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
Well, see, you got excited for that. I got excited that they brought in Tobin Bell to voice Savitar. I fucking flipped my shit for that. I'm like, Jigsaw is a speedster? Yeah. Tony Todd is Zoom. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So I always tell AJ
Mark Hamill.
He came back as he's the original Trickster.
Yeah, that was cool.
People try to give the CW a bad rap, but one thing I can tell you is they were very ambitious.
Yeah.
Very ambitious.
They really were. They did a lot of shit I never thought I'd see ever.
Don't get me wrong. There was some shit that was a head scratcher, but overall, there
was a lot of weird shit too. You had to swallow some ugly shit sometimes. But.
Yes, you did. The fact that there's a generation out there that's like, man, Ra's al Ghul is a pretty crazy Arrow villain. No.
Well, that think he's an Arrow villain. What?
No, he's not. I'm sorry.
Well, their version of Wildcat. I'll never get over that.
Yo, Joel, they spit in Wildcat's face for you, bro. You know what? You know what's crazy? You know the best thing. You know the best thing about Wildcat is that we got the boxing glove arrow. That was the best thing about Wildcat.
That was the best part of that. That was it.
The Wildcat character can go in the garbage, but we got the boxing glove. So that was
the part about Arrow was that Russian dude was fucking this guy the whole time. What's his name? The Batman villain. What's his name? Yes. Yeah, you're on the right track.
I gotta look it up because it's gonna KG Beast.
Straight. The Russian dude that was close to Ali. That was KG Beast.
That was KG Beast
the whole time. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Which is crazy because Zach did the same thing. When you watch BVS, you have no idea that that's KG Beast. But that's KG Beast. Yeah, and it's like, all right, I would have loved if he looked maybe a little cooler, but okay.
Tried a little harder.
Right, just a little bit. But yes, so guys, this was a PSA to go watch the CW if you do not. It is some really, really, really good stuff in there.
I'm not gonna force you, but it does.
Not gonna force you, but I will tell you this: approach the CW the same way you do anime. Any anime doesn't have a perfect episode every single season.
True.
It has bumps and bruises. I mean, fuck, they were on Namek during that Frieza saga way longer than they needed to be. Like it was all 1 week for them, but 6 years for us. So I'm like, if you can stomach that, you can stomach the CW, bro. I'm telling you. You just have to be interested.
If you watch other CW shows, you could probably stomach it too.
Yes, yeah, of course. No, if you watch Smallville, then you should have no problem watching anything from the CW.
Definitely had better graphics than that. So,
they did way cooler shit. So watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch
King Shark is pretty damn good looking. I don't know why.
Yeah. But make sure you guys support it. Like I said, we're gonna try to do more DC stuff. So we're practicing what we're preaching on, spreading the love and the gospel of DC. So trust me, this will not be the last. You know what's funny, Joe? Where you just had your thumb and looked like you flipped us off because it was blurred.
I know. It was like,
you guys. So Joel is not cursing out non-DC fans. That was a thumbs up. But we want to thank you guys for joining. Stay tuned. Me and Trayvon will be doing GVN Talk. We'll see if Joel joins. But we might have a few guests on there. So stay tuned for GVN Talk tomorrow, breaking down all the news topics. We're definitely going to break down a lot of what's being talked about this Kenobi show. When you tell me that Darth Vader's doing flips and shit.
What? He's going to do flips? He can flip?
Yes. Give me all of that.
We gotta talk. I hope we talk video games stuff too.
Actually, what I was going to do, Trayvon, if Jamie
directed yesterday.
If Jamie was going to be there, I was going to do a video game corner where you guys can kind of just, gush about video games. But yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We're going to dive into a whole bunch of stuff. And I can't wait to hear what Ash's thoughts were on the finale of Book of Boba. Ash lives and breathes Star Wars. So I can't wait to see if it gets her stamp of approval. So shout out to you, Ash. And we'll see you guys live for GVN Talk tomorrow.